Now we're going to take a city perspective, and Helsinki has been for many years working with a very active citizens participation policy. And we have Kirsi Verkka with us, who is head of that unit, to explain about their experiences and strategies of involvement and co-creation. So welcome, Kirsi, and the floor is yours, or the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. And I hope all is good with you, and greetings from Helsinki. I'm Kirsi Verkka, and I'm a development manager for Helsinki Participatory Budgeting. And I've been trying to squeeze into my presentation quite many things. So let's see if I can manage to go through it in 15-20 minutes and explain something that will inspire you. But let's start with the presentation. I hope you will see it now. Good. So I'm going to talk about thank you. I'm going to talk about the deliberation and inclusion in the participatory process, and using our OMA study, participatory budgeting, as a case study around it. But first, I would like to walk you through a little bit about our participation model. We have designed 2016. We made a participation model for whole Helsinki, and this was quite extensive co-creation process with the citizens. We had maybe 500 citizens participating all in all for this process, and we were also creating the principles for the participation in Helsinki. And here you can see the three principles of participation, and it is like utilizing know-how and expertise of individuals and communities, enabling self-motivated civic activity, and creating equal opportunities for participation. And I'm going to concentrate on this how to create equal opportunities for participation, because that has been one of the key principles for us when we have been developing participatory budgeting in Helsinki. And these three principles came out from the workshop we held over the weekend in the city hall, and we had around 200 citizens participating, and we were really planning and digging and discussing and having a dialogue about the participation and the principles, and these principles came out from that co-creation weekend together with the citizens. So what is the participation interaction model in real life? So we're working on 10 different areas, and the first three things here in this slide, borough liaisons, business liaisons, and participatory budgeting, are the newest things, and they all came out from this process we had when we were developing the participation model. Especially the borough liaisons, that was something that the citizens really hoped to have, so that they would have people working for the city who would help them to get in touch with the city and make their voices heard, and also showing them what are the ways to influence and participate in the city. So in my team, we have 7 borough liaisons, and we are all working also for the participatory budgeting. And then we have also business liaisons who are having his businesses participating and getting their voices heard also in the city. Of course, in Helsinki we have also 4 divisions, and each of them are making their own participation plan according to our participation interaction model. And Helsinki is also one of the leading cities in open data, and we have been also trying to open the use of the city's facilities so that the citizens could use them for their different events and their own civic actions as well. So these are like the 10 areas we are working with the participation or that are included in the participation and interaction model. But now I'm going to concentrate more on the participatory budgeting, which is a new thing for us. It's not new to the world. It's nothing that we have created. You all know that thousands of cities are doing participatory budgeting, but we have some twists in Helsinki that I would like to tell you more, and hope that you will find it inspiring in your own participatory work. So this is the process we have just started this week. We were opening the ideation, actually the second ideation round. We are using Oma Study platform. It is a Decidim platform. Decidim is developed in Barcelona, and several cities are using it also in Finland. So we are using a Decidim platform, and our Oma Study site is built on that. So we have just opened the ideation phase this week, and we are happy to see that the ideas are flooding in all the time. So our process is completely digital, and that is probably something that is quite unique in the world. At least I haven't seen any other participatory budgeting process that is completely digital as we have in Helsinki. So all in all, we have 8.8 million euros funds, and the citizens can ideate and plan and vote how the city is going to use this 8.8 million euros. Everybody can ideate, but for voting, we have some restrictions. You have to be 12 years old and over that to vote. So it's a relatively young age that the citizens can vote, and we were happy to see that the children between 12 and 15-year-old were the most active ones to vote. So we got real well schools on board when we were having the first voting last autumn. But something that is also special for the Helsinki participatory budgeting is that we have a very long, quite extensive and thorough co-creation phase. So it's not completely online. We have also had workshops where citizens and civil servants, they sit down and they look at the ideas and they make plans out of that. And the civil servants, they're bringing in their own knowledge of the planning and the issues that citizens want to develop, and as well, of course, citizens are bringing in their own knowledge about their area and living in it, and the people who are living in there. So this is something that we have now extended even from the first round. So we have two kinds of co-creation workshops where first the citizens meet, they sit down, they look at the ideas, and they form proposals out of the ideas, and then we continue the co-creation on Oma Study site, and then later in the springtime we have this kind of theme-based workshops where citizens again meet civil servants, and where we have had time to further develop the proposals, and then they can sit down and try to make them as concrete as possible, so that it's easy for the city to calculate the budget, and as well then make them happening in a real life. We have been really happy to see that out of those 44 proposals that people voted last autumn, already 38 of them has been already this year. So only 6 of them are going to be ready next year, and of course Corona has something to do with these delays as well. Here in Helsinki, we're very fond of this Fishkins model of quality of deliberative process, which we find quite useful tool for us when we are thinking about the different aspects of the deliberative process, because we want to also enhance this kind of deliberative discussion around the city, how things should be done, what are the needs of the citizens, and make it maybe a little bit quicker and a new way of discussing in the city. I don't think I have ever seen before in Helsinki that much discussion about how to develop the city around the world, around the Helsinki at the same time as it was when we had the ideation and also when we had the voting going on. So this has been really activating the citizens as well as the city, having the dialogue together and planning and thinking about what is meaningful and important for us. But now in this short presentation, I'm going to concentrate on the diversity, how to make sure that everybody is on board, everybody is having a possibility to participate. And also we have found out that the information is also a very important part of the process, that the citizens have knowledge and information enough, and it also makes the process more equal. And I'm going to talk some more about those issues in coming slides. So so here is the overall picture of how we have been dealing with the principle that it should be possible, it should be the participatory processes should be equal and inclusive for all. And this is how we have been thinking about it in our participatory budgeting OMA study process. OMA study, by the way, is a Finnish word, of course, and it means my own city. So we have been also going through thoroughly now all the voting turnout percentages, and where people were active and where they were not active, and where they did not give ideas, or where were the areas where we didn't get any proposals. And our borough liaisons have been now planning special help for those areas and been trying to activate people on those areas. And then of course, as Helsinki city is producing a lot of services by itself, so we have been able to use many of the city's own services, so that they have been active in promoting OMA study in their own services, so that we have been able to reach different citizen groups. And of course we have been working together with the NGOs. And one of the key issues we have been also concentrating is that our net site is as accessible, is as inclusive and as easy to use as possible. And we have been basically coding it all over again for this new round, and we are hoping that it's much easier to use and understand the whole process when you're coming to our website. So here you can see, as I said, Helsinki is really producing a lot of different services for our citizens, and these are the main services we have been now working this autumn, and already we started the planning together earlier in the springtime. So we have community centers, we have libraries, we have other services, healthcare centers, everything you can see on this slide. So we have been working with them, and they have been also sending a lot of information. And for example, in the basic education, we have this kind of days for the school councils and giving information for them. And we can see that there is already coming ideas from the schools and kindergartens, and also from the playgrounds, and also in a vocational training, we have been sending information and thinking about how people could reach this information through those services. So all in all, our aim is to reach people who haven't been so active, who maybe are more difficult to reach. So elderly people, families, immigrants, people at risk of exclusion. So we will see after this round that if we will get more ideas and proposals from these groups of people. When we were making the study of the voting turnout, we could see that the people over the 75 years old were the group who were voting least, but we could also see that they were quite active in the co-creation phase. So people are differently active and participating differently in different stages of this quite long and thorough process, and we don't even expect everybody be on board throughout the whole year, and it's okay. Just give your idea or just vote and be part in that sense. We have also made this kind of OMA study card game, which we find is also a tool that makes the process more inclusive. It's a fun way to get to know about the participatory budgeting. It's a card game, and also it gives you an information what is OMA study all about, but it also helps you to ideate in your group and make a good quality ideas. And this game we have in English, Swedish, and Finnish languages. This year we have been also really strengthening to make our marketing material. So we have it at the moment in 7 different languages. And those languages are the ones that are spoken most in Helsinki. And we have been using this kind of augmented reality technology in these flyers and posters that we have been sending all around the city. So that's scanning the QR code, you will get the video that tells about the participatory budgeting and other information in all those 7 languages. But we have also different posters in all the languages. So this is something new, at least for us in Helsinki, that we have this kind of very extensive marketing material in different languages. Now we're going to talk about lastly about the information, because during the first round we got a lot of feedback from the city divisions that citizens should know better about our planning rules and why are we doing these things and so on and so on. So we started last spring, we started to have workshops for our divisions so that we would dig out. So what is the information you really wish that the citizens would have and understand when they're coming to this process? And actually it wasn't so easy to find that kind of information, because it needs also specialists really to put together all that information and really to have it in that kind of format that it's easy for citizens to understand. I mean, nobody have time and motivation to read through 50 pages long reports. So, but we managed to get out something out of this process, and now we have quite extensive list of links where people can see the different decisions or the information about why things are costing, what they are costing here, and examples of that. Also, one way of giving information or changing information is that we have had those workshops, and citizens were really happy to meet with the specialists. They could, so they were really on the fountains, on the foundations of the information that they would get directly from the specialist. And also we wish that this year we also succeed better in a way that we have more discussions and commenting on the website. And probably because of this corona situation has been now going on for a while, and we are more used to use this kind of online tools. So I think we're going to have also more commenting online, so that the specialists can give some comments and citizens can ask things and in that way also change information on the platform. But this was my short presentation. I don't know if we have any time for questions or comments, but I hope this was something inspiring for you all in when planning your participatory processes.
Kirsi, thank you very much. I think we have a couple of minutes left. I was wondering whether you could let us know about, you mentioned the 22 projects which were actually going ahead, I think, and this 8.8 million euro, which sounds quite a lot in anybody's budget to support programs and projects like this. What kind of projects were they? And were you satisfied with the kind of projects, and where were they? I mean, what were they? Were they cultural projects, social projects, environmental? And how do you think this profile fits what's possible? And how would you look at this in the future?
Oh, yes, thank you. First round, we had 4.4 million euros, which is like a very little part of the Helsinki's 400 million euros budget. So this year we have double amount of that. But as our mayor said, this process has been more powerful than the money we have had in it, and it's more important than just than the money, the amount of money. But I don't think I'm the one who is saying that did we get good projects or not. It's the citizens who have been voting them. But of course, I would like to see more innovative proposals coming for us. I think one of my favorites was that we got this kind of boat that is fueled by the solar panels. Going between the islands. That was something that Helsinki City would never have done it without this proposal. I'm sure about it. But I think now when I'm looking at the first week, we have had the ideation opening. Still the recreation and how to have the places for the physical educations outdoors. That is still something that seems to be very popular even now. But then it was really covering all the areas of the life of the people. We had some proposals that were for the elderly people, for example, for them to have a possibility to do physical exercises close to their homes. And then we got one proposals that we got more recycling bins to the schools. And then we had one proposals that citizens wanted to have to change these. We have these huge lawns so that they would be blossoming meadows and also enhance the biodiversity and also plant more trees. So there was a lot of proposals that were connected to the ecological sustainability as well. So it was like covering everything in life in all. But of course then we got also those basic things that we already get a lot of feedback for the city. Citizens wanted to have benches and they wanted to have more garbage bins and so on.
But this idea of actually connecting the participatory budgeting with a creative process of designing, it is interesting because you then just limit the process to groups of people trying to get their idea voted on. So it becomes a more collaborative process. So that's it. That's really interesting. The other thing, if trying to be put on a critical point of view, yes, it's 1% of the budget, or it's now 2% of the budget of the city. But by making a kind of a separate budget, does this mean that 98% of the budget of the city is not taking account of the citizens' wishes?
Yes, I think that I have read a study somewhere that you need also planning. You can't open up all your budget for participatory budgeting, because then it becomes impossible, because you have to also maintain everything that is generated. So I think I read somewhere that it's maybe the limit is like 5%. Maybe it's like a good way of doing it, and then the rest is planning. You have to see what is coming in the future and what are our resources and so on. So it's a good start for us anyway.
Yeah.
And we are far away from the Paris that is opening like 100 million euros.
Yes,
so
yes.
a way to go.
Yes,
but as I said, it's not only the money that counts.
No,
It's also the quality of the process and how well you get people into it.
I'm just looking if there are any questions here. Amelia, who's coming, actually she is going to be speaking in a short while. Very interesting point about the budget. External budget allow for more experimentation. Interesting point for this discussion. Good. And what else do we have? Eleni. Eleni will be able to say what she thinks in a little while when she's responding to you. So have you got time to stay to get the response in 15, 20 minutes?
Yes, absolutely. I'm delighted.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.